This is Think Future with Calabucas. Now, one of the things that's been happening recently is that a lot of people like to put people in buckets. And they like putting the people in these buckets that are allocated by visual cues about the individual. And this is one of the things I always thought that was really funny. People say, "Oh, it's on what's on the outside that counts," or what's on the inside that counts. It doesn't really matter how you look. But that's what we're starting to do. We're starting to put people in buckets and deciding what to do with them based on the way they look or based on the way they act, not what they bring to the table. And if you ask me, that's wrong, because I'm a big fan of all humans flourishing. There are people who need help. There's lots of people out there who need help, but they're not specifically delineated by their skin color or their race or their gender or whatever. There's people out there who need a helping hand, and they have both immutable and mutable characteristics. And a lot of times we bucket these people by their immutable characteristics, whether or not they need help or not. I think it's true that there's many human beings out there, there's many humans out there who need help. There's also many humans out there who are doing really well. But the humans that are out there that need help don't necessarily fall into a specific bucket. You can't readily look at a human and say, "Oh, that one needs help and that one doesn't need help." It's not readily visible by the individual outward appearance. But we do have plenty of tools, especially if these humans are on the internet and they're accessing any of these big tech companies. We should be able to very easily determine whether a human needs help or a human doesn't need help. And when we realize that a human needs help, then maybe we can provide help to that human. But here's the thing, though. I mean, it doesn't go one way. And this is one of the things I've been trying to say, is that when you look at communistic societies, when you look at communes where everyone helps each other out all the time, never last more than 2 years unless they're religiously based. And I've said this many times before on my show. And the reason why that is because one of the tenets of human nature is laziness, at least as far as I'm concerned. And I think the biggest problem is that people have to understand within these communities that the only way the community survives is if there's contribution before distribution. Every member of the community must contribute to the community. Because if any member of the community does not contribute to the community, and there's no reason why members can't contribute to the community now, because, I mean, if you think about it, there used to be a situation where people couldn't commit to the community because they had some kind of physical issue. But nowadays, with technology, everyone can contribute to any community that they're in. And if we made contribution to the community an essential element of being part of the community, then I wonder if it's possible that communities would be able to survive and thrive longer. And then we can say there was an actual edit to human nature. Human nature has become more communal. I mean, some people say, yes, we were originally tribal in nature, and sure, we were tribal in nature. But what is the tribe of today? Is the tribe of today the visual buckets that we put people into? I don't think so. I think diversity comes from that plus cognition, plus the experience that each individual human has had. Each individual human has had a unique experience. Some might say, and I've said it before, a unique reality. We all live in completely different realities. And what you're doing when you're pitching yourself to somebody else is what you're doing is you're pitching your reality to them. You're saying, my reality can provide your reality insight that you haven't had in your reality. But I digress. The fact of the matter is that we need to stop putting people in buckets. I think the two big buckets that people need to be in are bucket A, where they need help, and bucket B, where they don't need help. And no matter what you look like, no matter what sex you are, no matter what race you are, no matter what gender you are, no matter how tall you are, how short you are, how old you are, you either need help or you don't need help. And if you need help, we should be able to figure out some way to help you. If you think about it, this is the most amazing time for us to be in. The most amazing time for us to be in. This is the time that we need to take to finally turn humanity around and help us all to flourish. And instead of doing this, we're looking at how we can put person A in bucket B, person C in bucket D, etc., etc., etc. Stop bucketing people and just help them if they need help.